And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Monastery, the open bar of the internet, the world's greatest shit show, and the place where we, the good brothers and sisters of this most holy of temples, seek enlightenment through the drunkest, craziest, the most batshit ways possible. This is not Monastery Live, that's still coming Sunday. This is the return of the men who stare at Sportsball. We haven't done this since the early end of the year. Well, I should say we were in another decade when we did this last, technically.
Yeah. In the late parts of October 2019. Ooh.
Yeah. It's like ancient history.
Yep. Hang on a second. Okay, everything should be coming in fine.
Yes, Cure Crystal. It's been a while.
So, this would be a good opportunity. So, for this particular thing, with the playoff slots effectively locked in, including some that were held on to much longer than I thought they would be.
A lot longer in hindsight, actually.
Mm-hmm. It'll be it is a perfect time to look at the playoff brackets. Thank you for this, Maddie, as well as do a bit of a debriefing on all the teams that didn't make it.
I.e., the part where we laugh at them.
Yeah, or in some cases is salty
there's
about
that.
it.
There's that.
Because remember, salt is a way of life.
Oh, definitely.
Down here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt. And you breathe that in, and you can constantly taste the salt.
So, the only question is, what order should we do this? Do you want to do this by seeding by conference, or do you want to just go from top to bottom on each row or column?
Let's go top.
Let's
make it easy.
Yeah.
All right. In that case,
it doesn't matter which side we have to go. We got to go one side to the other anyway.
Yep.
In that case, let's start with the AFC, and more specifically the first wild card match regarding the Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills.
Well,
this
Bills Mafia got something to celebrate this year.
Get the tables! Like
oh,
the fucker's on fire! We got January foosball!
Yep.
Yeah.
For the second time this millennium. And this time they actually earned it.
Yeah.
You know what? You can say the same for both teams, actually.
I don't know about the Texans. They've been
earned.
Yeah, but I don't know about the Texans. They pretty much stumbled onto the final weeks.
The Texans have always been the drunk uncle of the AFC.
Yeah, really.
You know what? To be fair, they earned it more than the Eagles and Cowboys would have.
Fair point.
Oh yeah.
And now, when it came to the Bills, I do want to reflect on what I said before the season started. That being, we could see the potential there. It was just a matter of whether or not we could fully trust Josh Allen, because his passing game wasn't quite there yet, and it's gotten better, but I don't think it's quite there yet.
Yeah, at least his ceiling's still high, but it's like I said, he's gonna take another. I think it's gonna take another season for him to come on its own.
Yep.
So
that's so because of that.
But,
as far as the go ahead.
But they actually did something. They actually threatened the Patriots' little monopoly on the top of the AFC East. at least they did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the 2019-2020 season is going to go down as a very transitional season.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely. A lot of key players from the past decade either stepping aside or being forced to step aside. Andrew Luck being one of them. Tom Brady. I think this is the first time we've seen Tom Brady look, I don't want to say the word weak.
mortal.
It's the only thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, but we'll get
He
to
looked
him.
mortal.
We'll get to him in a minute. But
We'll get to him. We'll get to him. Yeah.
But when it comes to the Texans, there's been way too much behind the scenes drama in the office. Not as much as some of the other not. And the sad thing is, and this is what makes it worse. There's been plenty of drama, especially since they're yet another team that fell into the trap of hire a coordinator from the Patriots as our head coach and let's see what happens.
Well, yeah.
But the problem is, even with all that drama, they're not bad enough to be a full lolcow.
Not yet.
They are
Yeah.
Lone Star mediocrity.
Yeah, Lone Star mediocrity that I don't think is going to get far in the playoffs. Shit, at this point, I expect the Bills to win to win their wild card game.
You get the feeling too, huh?
Yeah.
Because Buffalo, they're on their way up right now. They're a team on the make. While Houston, they got issues.
They managed to pull a Seahawks maneuver and win for losing. I have no confidence in the Texans, and I don't think anyone else does.
Nope.
Nah. You know what? If nothing else, it may be a close game. If nothing else, but the Bills could very well win it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In fact, the last few weeks, the Titans looked a lot more like they could win the AFC South. They deserved it a little bit more.
Speaking of the Titans,
Speaking of,
now first off, for everyone's barrel full of laughs, everybody laugh at New England.
Oh boy!
True story. I wake up on Sunday a little later than I would have liked because I wanted to tune in to New England's kryptonite, if you will, to see if the Patriots have learned anything. I tune in about they just started the second half. Miami's leading. I had the double take, and I was so glad I was still in bed because I was rolling in that thing, laughing my ass off.
So basically, what Miami did was they sacrificed their tank to fuck with the Patriots.
In fairness, the Bengals were going to get number one draft pick anyway. So Miami's small sacrifice was so worth it.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, they did their duty for the entire league, and now
they
don't have a
played
bye.
spoiler and they played magnificently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now they have to play a wild card game against a team that could probably knock them out.
There's a shot. I will say this. If Tennessee doesn't knock New England out, Kansas City has a damn good chance of doing that.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're fucked. They have a hard road ahead of them. If they manage to get past the Titans, they gotta worry about the Chiefs. If they somehow get past the Chiefs, they have to worry about Baltimore because I have no doubt Baltimore's going to go to the AFC Championship.
Yeah, Baltimore is the team to beat in the AFC. Absolutely.
Yeah, or who knows? Maybe even they might meet the Bills again, and the Bills. Let's just say.
Well, they got the Pats number in a certain degree.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, but They've been wanting revenge for decades.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just put it this way. The Patriots better hope to God the Texans survive. Otherwise, they might. This year's Super Bowl will not be another Patriots invitational.
Which would make it the first time in what, 5 years?
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
And when it comes to the Titans,
and Saudi's right. And Saudi's right. Don't count them out. In fact, like I said, if whoever takes down the Patriots, burn the fucking body.
Please do.
That's something I can definitely go with. The only problem that I have is that there's a reason why the 1 yard short meme is a thing when it comes to Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
So, of course, so when it comes to that, I could see them bullshitting their way past Tennessee, but not bullshitting their way past Kansas City. That is, of course, on the assumption that that nothing happens to Mahomes.
Yeah, because you know how the Patriots tend to engage in shenanigans, as we've seen this season.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking bungles, really?
Oh,
yeah.
There's a bit of an update on that.
Bungles?
Apparently, the claim is that was a camera guy trying to be cute.
Oh, you know what?
Look,
I'm pressing X on that one.
I was gonna say, because as someone who's worked in some form of television, you're trained to go for any interesting shot, especially if you do sports on a local or other level. You try to look for any interesting shots for your director to cut to, especially in between breaks. So, fine for an excuse, but not good enough, man. It's still a big fat red
Patriots
X.
got way too much of a history doing shady shit like that.
Yeah.
What I am more concerned with is whether or not there's going to be some transportation bullshit again with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I see that happening. But then again, aren't they going to be playing at home? If they're going to be playing at home, so I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Although it'd be funny as hell if New England wasn't able to get their stuff in.
Oh god!
Oh my god! The ultimate twist of irony if that happens.
If the Chiefs will actually pull that, you know what? I'm not going to chastise them because it would be, you know what? What's good for the goose?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the match that I do hope to see in the AFC Championship is Kansas City versus Baltimore. I think that's the match a lot of people want to see.
Ooh,
definitely
for the AFC Championship, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Like a team that's gaining momentum versus a team who's had all the momentum.
Oh yeah, Baltimore's been on a tear the whole season.
Baltimore's had that tear; they got that extra week's rest,
which makes me,
and they're facing and the potential of facing a Kansas City who just got finished murdering the Pats. That's a matchup.
Which I have one fear for the 2020-2021 season.
What?
Lamar Jackson might get on the cover of Madden.
Uh-oh! If that happens, we're covering that in egregious assholes.
Oh yeah.
Now I will do that with one caveat. I will only cover it on egregious assholes when the curse hits.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
Although to be fair, Mahomes, the worst that happened with him with the Madden curse was just suffering a leg injury. Ooh. It's certainly a step up from the last guy to get hit with the Madden curse.
Oh yeah.
Truth.
Oh yeah.
Enough from the clown.
How the hell does he keep getting in here?
Fucking clowns.
But that's what we got when it comes to the AFC. I wouldn't say it's full on top heavy, but it's definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's actually competitive for once.
Yeah,
Which is
the
saying
crazy
something
part
because-
is, we both want Baltimore versus Kansas City, but take away the Patriots, any combination really of matchups
Well, it's either
presents
going to
a
be
very interesting situation.
it's going to be either two rising powers or Baltimore beating down the Patriots. Either or.
That being said, I have no confidence. I have if the Titans somehow manage to get past the wild card, they're not getting past the Chiefs.
Nope.
No.
I don't think so. Yeah, that's the only team. Sorry, the only team that I think has no fucking shot at all are the Texans, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like they're
just
the Texans,
Kansas City. Just promise us one
Texans
thing.
are the jobbers.
Yeah.
Even towards the Bills, and like I said, that the reason being is because 4 of the 6 teams are on the make. The other 2 are in decline.
But let's take a
Just
look at the
Kansas City. Just promise me one thing, Kansas City. Don't go full read again. Please don't.
Please, God, no.
I'm knocking on
God,
wood,
no.
boys.
Same here.
Keep him away from the barbecue pit.
Please.
Yeah, we don't need another barbecue Bruce.
Yeah, I was gonna say keep him away from barbecue Bruce Boudreaux.
No, I'm just saying keep him away from the barbecue because he keeps choking on the bones.
Yeah, really. Yeah, because if he blows it, he's pretty much the NFL's version of barbecue Bruce.
Mm-hmm. But let's take a look at the consistently competitive, at least in my lifetime, NFC.
Yeah.
And we'll start with the Seahawks and the Eagles. So,
the team.
our apologies to Liz
die.
Finnegan. It's time for me to laugh at the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
The only thing your services are no longer required at this point because now they both are have been shut out of the playoffs.
Oh, Aaron.
You did your job.
Save.
I'll say that.
Your laughter for the Cowboys for just a few more minutes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we'll have such a hearty laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Eagles, on the road to agony.
Yeah. I don't have.
I can't.
This is gonna be a very ugly game because the Seahawks are trying to recapture the Legion of Boom, and it's just not there.
Yeah, but then again, we've seen things that happen. Remember the last time the Eagles were in this position? The double point happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, I get the feeling that Eagles and Seahawks is going to be a very ugly ass game, and I know Beast Mode has been unretired again,
Mm-hmm.
and hey there, memes, welcome to the party. But I'm just thinking, you're coming out of retirement that late in the season? Are you really going to be in enough shape to pull this off?
I really don't know.
Yeah.
But
I like what Akira Coop said on the YouTube chat. ADP is going to be pissed.
He's always pissed.
Yeah, But then again, the Eagles did survive a wild card run last year when they were expected to get run over 5 ways to Sunday against the Bears defense.
Here's the problem that I'm having, and I distinctly recall saying this at the start of the season. I am not confident in Carson Wentz. To me,
no, very inconsistent.
Actually, I gotta disagree there. He's the only reason the fucking Eagles are in the playoffs right now.
If you recall, when the season started, I had said I didn't know whether or not he was legitimately that good, or whether or not he was that good because he was carried by North Dakota State.
I think the bigger question for the Eagles is very simple. Okay, you've trusted once you got you to the playoffs. Do you trust them to go all the way to the Super Bowl? My answer is simply put, no.
Nah, not against these teams.
No, like let's just say by a modicum of whatever happens, they make it to the NFC Championship game. You're going against San Francisco here.
Well, they got to whoever wins this faces San Francisco anyway. Or then
They're
again,
fucked.
unless they're reseeded or something, depending on how it goes. But
I don't
yeah.
see any reseeding happening. As far as San Francisco, that's been the X factor this whole season, because nobody really got to see Garoppolo's ceiling last year because he ended up getting injured and had to sit out for most of the season. I think they were about 3 weeks in before he had to sit out, and just everything fell apart with him.
Yeah.
And now that he's back, things are starting to be on the up and up.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So it's all going to depend on whether or not Garoppolo can stay healthy. Now he'll have a better chance, because at most he'll have to play 3 games if they go all the way. But again, I get the feeling that the divisional round in that regard is going to be Seahawks versus Niners, especially since the idea of rekindling that old feud is going to be a little too tempting.
Yeah, because they faced each other twice, and it was always been like freaking close, razor thin close every competition. I don't see this one being any exception. Hell, this might be even prove more interesting than the NFC Championship.
Mm-hmm. And as far as the other end of the NFC, Vikings and Saints.
Well, this is going to be a tough one, because on one hand, Drew Brees wants one more big win before he can retire. On one hand, on the other hand, the Minneapolis Miracle can happen again, but this time they're not. I don't think they're playing it in Minneapolis this time. They're playing in the dome.
They're playing in the dome, where the Saints have the advantage, not just because it's home field as it would be, but they
It's the dome.
Very difficult to beat inside the Superdome.
Mm-hmm. Inside the Superdome, not Silverdome.
I said
Not
Superdome.
Yeah, get it right, Hogan.
Brother.
And moreover, there's just the fact that, now granted, there are certainly worse QBs when it comes to over 500.
Oh,
but
Cousins, yep. No one's trusting that.
But
guy.
the problem is Cousins, and I had stated beforehand. Cousins has the potential to be good, but he's not elite. He's only going to be as good as the offensive schemes you give him. Mm-hmm. And moreover, I feel like he's been dealing with stage fright, i.e., feeling that if he doesn't perform, then he'll end up getting sent back to Washington. And I distinctly recall him saying that his favorite part about playing for the Redskins was leaving.
Yeah. But you're going up against Drew Brees, so
tough call.
Look, no matter how this game goes, I guarantee that the Saints are going to be salty, because Saints fans have been arguably the most entitled fan base this season.
Oh
or
yeah.
at least the ones bitching at the refs the most. Every single week I hear it, and it's like,
I don't blame them.
the zebras are trash. It's called football. It's full of bullshit.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, I'm gonna. Yeah. By the way, when it comes to these refs, they're lucky this isn't Mutant League football. Otherwise, look out.
Ooh, truth be spoken there.
Yeah. But whoever wins this one, well, they get the booby prize. They get to face a 7-9 team, which actually should have been 7-9 but the problem was Green Bay had a fucking easy schedule.
Yeah, when it comes, they spent Green Bay spent an uncharacteristic amount of money on free agency in the offseason. And I'm not entirely sure it's paid off. The problem that I've had with the Packers this year is that it feels like there's a lot of really strong pieces, but it's not coming together.
Nah.
And I think part of the problem is I still get the feeling that Aaron Rodgers has a very low opinion of the coaching staff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because of that, there's going to be moments where he'll just say, "Fuck it, we're running the play differently than what they said." Plus, I'm not. There's way too many X factors when it comes to Green Bay, so I don't see. The furthest that I could see them going is NFC Championship, and that's it.
Yeah, they run into San Francisco or Seattle, their history.
Mm-hmm. I don't see them going that far, and I will admit a degree of salt that they got the second seed because I'm a fan of a division rival. But at the same time, I'm not going to let that bias completely cloud my judgment.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing out of Green Bay is a fleet without a commander.
Yep.
And
or basically, I say they're incredibly lucky this season.
definitely. I'd almost call them the northern version.
Of Saints, the winner Saints Vikings. I don't know if I got where to say they're going to have an easy time against the Packers, or the Packers are going to give them a tough time. I don't know what to say on that one.
Well, I think for the Vikings, it could be an uphill battle because again, the Green Bay is once again terrorizing the NFC North. Ugh. But then again, New Orleans. But if New Orleans gets through, I think New Orleans is gonna spank them.
New Orleans is much better organized.
Yeah.
Despite some of the health issues that Drew Brees has, they do. The thing is, good individual players are not what win games. Good organizations win games.
Yeah, this isn't the fucking NBA here.
And the Saints seem to have a much better run organization, whereas the Packers still have that problem of them trying to throw money at everything, and we've seen what happens when a team tries to do that, and I get the distinct feeling that. I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers is gonna leave, but he is going to be a lot. But if they end up making an early exit, he is going to be a lot more vocal on coaching issues.
Yeah, it would be nice if he really sticks it to Green Bay and says, "Fuck it, I'm signing with the Bears."
Oh, you just want Kiss and Titties to be relegated to the secondary, don't you?
You damn right I do. We'll be talking about them pretty soon.
But
Talking about that shit pretty soon.
so because of that, all right. Let's nail this down. Who is most likely to be the two people at the final big dance?
I'm gonna say San Francisco and Baltimore. Even though
That's
San
what I'm
Francisco's
calling too, actually.
even though
That's what
San
I'm thinking.
Francisco's got their trouble, I think they're gonna pull it together. Or I think realistically, the only three teams I see in the NFC side in the Super Bowl are San Francisco, Seattle, or New Orleans. Those are the three that have the most legitimate claim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's all sewn up for Baltimore. You know, it is theirs to lose, and their conference to lose.
Yeah, Baltimore's been fucking dominant, and Lamar Jackson, wow, that guy, I think he's a shoo-in for the MVP.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the NFC, I'm calling San Francisco, but definitely the final for me would be San Francisco, maybe Green Bay.
Well, you think New Orleans might get shocked?
They might get, it's a tough game to call, but like I said, it's definitely San Francisco. But whoever with that bottom corner there, oh boy.
Yeah, that's a freaking toss up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It depends on if Drew Brees keeps the ship rowing.
Yep. But now with the serious part of it out of the way, let's laugh at all the people who lost.
Oh yes.
So we're gonna start in the AFC East, and what's that beeping noise?
Oh wait, it's the butt fumble detector.
You butt fumbled. This has been one of the biggest butt fumbles of a season I've ever seen. Yeah, you're 7-9, but come on, you're a lot worse than your record suggests here.
One, you're a lot worse. You managed to prove Pat McAfee right. You can't outstink the Jets. Everybody was trying so hard. They ended up being the spoiler that prevented not one but two narratives from reaching fruition. We had a glorious moment where we could have had one or two. We had the gloriousness that was the tank-offs, where it seemed like one team might have been the fourth member to enter the Hall of Shame.
Yeah, the 0-16 club.
Yep.
And they let the Bungles win. The Jets butt fumbled 0-16.
Yeah, twice.
Now, first things first. Hiring Adam Gase was a really, really stupid move. Even
dumb.
And everybody in New York was like, why the fuck are you bringing a guy in from the Dolphins? Second off, I do find it funny that for all the drama that Le'Veon Bell created last year, he was a complete non-factor. It's almost like they were trying to run him out of town.
He was quiet. What did he even play this year?
He did.
He played, but he was just a guy.
He was actually one of the bright spots of the Jets season, and the other bright spot is Sam Darnold. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute, is that his name, Sam Darnold? Because I was thinking someone else.
Yep. The other teams that are in the 0-16 club are the expansion Buccaneers, which is a bit of
it's 0-14, but still close. It's 0-14 for them because I think there wasn't a 17-week system yet, but close enough.
That's why instead of calling it the 0-16 club, I call it the Hall of Shame.
Yeah, the completely winless season is what the 0-16 is what it is known as now, but a completely winless season.
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course the other one is the 2008 Detroit Lions.
And don't forget the And don't forget the Browns.
Yeah, Hero already mentioned that. But when it comes to the real sad part when it comes to the Jets this year was the retirement of fireman Ed.
Oh God!
And a guy who's been waving the flag that hard for the Jets for that long, he deserves better.
Yeah, I guess he should have. I guess he should have been alive during the Joe Namath era.
Yeah,
but look at it this way: you're not the worst team in New York, so that's something, right?
Yep. And then we get to the Dolphins, who were the most blatant. They were tanking so hard. I had to wonder if they hired Sam Hinkie as their GM.
Yeah. Yeah, it was such an obvious tank job that I realized if you go 0-16, you're fired. I'm like, uh-oh, now you gotta save our jobs.
So yeah, someone in that organization heard something through someone and went, fuck it, we're not going winless. Win, butt bastards, win!
And yet somehow they've become the Patriots' kryptonite.
Yep.
That's again.
That's the only bright spot in their season.
Yeah, but for the last couple of years, they kept ballyhooing about how they were going to have this big culture change in their organization, even though the incompetence at the top is still there. But what I find kind of funny is they thought, okay, we've got a new head coach, we've got a new organizational structure, we go through this big culture change. We're gonna have a great season. First weekend,
the culture is actually damn good.
First weekend, they get the Ravens and they get ass pounded like they had to deal with Japanese fishermen.
You know what? Yeah. No. You know what it is? It's funny. The Dolphins are. I don't know if you. I'm gonna. There's gonna be some people that's gonna. Meow. But that girl from Zombieland Saga at the very beginning, the very first episode, she's gonna be an idol. She's all happy and peppy. Truck. That's that girl. Dolphins right there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, at least you pissed on the Patriots cereal, so that's
hey, right? Sometimes playing spoiler has its own reward.
Mm-hmm. Now, Zach Schaumler had said that the Dolphins had gotten better during the tail end of it. I'm not entirely sure, because when you're at the tail end of the season, the wear and tear and the body being on autopilot starts to happen more and more. So
I'm definitely pressing X on this one, especially when you have Fitzception as your QB.
Which, when I saw them bringing in Fitzception, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a bet here. He's not staying in the Dolphins next year. He's one of those journeyman guys who's gonna get bumped off to another mediocre team. I would guess he's gonna get traded to the Colts.
Probably.
But when it comes to the Dolphins, it's like what's gonna be funny about is that they were the ones who were trying the hardest to tank, and they still lost. They lost at losing.
Dolphins fans, demand an ownership change. Stat.
Yeah. Oh, Cure Crystal in the chat. Fitz tragic. Good one.
Yeah.
So next we have the AFC West. And
let's laugh at the Steelers.
That's AFC North. We're talking about Broncos, Raiders, and Chargers.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, let's start with the Broncos. And Travis, if you're watching, this part's gonna hurt. Because
Oh,
Broncos gonna Bronco.
Well, look at it this way, Denver. At least you didn't fuck up as bad as last year, and your coach is actually illegitimate.
They have a legitimate coach. The problem is they thought handing the keys to check down guy was going to be a good idea.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, even Vic Fangio won't be able to save you from that one.
And
now, granted, his first year's coach, but still.
Yeah. This is one of those cases where as long as they have incompetent ownership, they're going to be fucked. And it always astonishes me that Elway was one of my favorite players growing up, and now he's the
Michael Jordan of the NFL.
Yeah. Just because you're a great player does not mean you can be a great executive. I mean, Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time, and yet when you see how he's run the Hornets into the ground, to the point where his time playing baseball was somehow more dignified.
Oh yeah.
The guy who needed a tennis racket instead of a damn baseball.
Hey, buddy, you're not James E. Cornette. You're not that racist. That we know of course.
Yeah. Cornette's just insufferable. That's all he is.
Oh, yeah. No. Cornette is more insufferable. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
But the big problem is, let's face it. If I showed up to the combine, being 6'6" and appearing white, I could probably get a job as a QB.
Yeah. You said, wait a minute. Does he look? Is this kid light skinned? He's 6'6". He'll just come out and says, "Screw that. You're hired. Here's 15 million."
Yeah, and just look. This always really annoys me, especially during draft season when teams go for raw attributes instead of on decision making. And this is the reason why I harp so badly on Joe Flacco, because he relies way too much on checkdowns. Yeah. The things that I've learned the last few years about what makes a good QB is their ability to think on the fly. Even if you're not the most accurate, even if you don't do all the flashy, sexy deep balls, if you can read the situation and figure out who's the right person to throw to in the moment, and figure out what to do when the plans break down, then you'll have a better chance than if you don't. Mm-hmm. Flacco relies way too much on safe. A familiar thing, and when you do that, eventually your tells are going to get shown.
Yeah, he plays
it and even if they don't get shown, you keep doing the same thing over and over again. Coaches will plan around that.
And I have to wonder if there's some bar where he sits with Steve Sarkisian, just drowning their own sorrows.
Yeah, trying the same shit over and over, thinking it's gonna.
But let's get to the other 7-9er. And the autumn fart.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna begin this here. I spent all season trying to get a decent team together here, but trying to get to 8-8, hopefully making the playoffs. But apparently, I still can't find any Gruden grinders.
See, this would not have happened if you hadn't touched AB. His sickness went all over the damn team.
The AB curse has hit you hard.
That's one factor, and the fact that they thought that they could keep him on a leash But let's. But there were some. There were some other. There was.
You know, we talked about this at the season previous. And look,
Oh yeah.
it was a very, and we knew it was going to be a small chance, but we said if they can keep them in check, they'll get 8-8. They couldn't keep them in check.
They almost got
And
8-8.
we all know the result there.
They almost got 8-8.
They
But-
almost, yeah.
Here's the.
No, they almost got to the playoffs.
I remember going all the way up to week 16 and looking at the Raiders and going, "How are you not dead?" And I will admit there was a small part of me that wanted to see the Raiders in the playoffs just for the sheer lulls.
Yeah. Because they're going to be fucking off to Las Vegas next season. So why not give them one? Why not get a playoff berth as a send off?
But
And-
nope.
And
They
to
had
be honest,
Raiders had the Raider.
To be honest, I don't think they're going to get the kind of. I don't think they're going to be able to get the kind of fan base that they're hoping in Vegas, for one reason only. The Knights
Go
have too
ahead.
much of a foothold.
Yeah. Yeah, the
They
Knights
would
were
have
like a
to, the Golden Knights had the miracle season to start their first season in the NHL.
Yeah, the plan for the Golden Knights was they had to win and win now. They couldn't wait 5 years down the line. Well, let's just say they stuck whatever they did in the expansion draft. Whoever owns the freaking Knights had a big old horseshoe up his ass.
That or their GMs just decided, fuck it, let's build a team that could compete.
Yeah,
With the budget they had, that they played Moneyball and it paid off huge. With the Raiders, they would need to win the Super Bowl next year.
yeah,
That's not happening.
No.
or get to the championship.
No.
at the least,
This
very
no.
least.
This is we are far at this point. We are far past just get to the damn playoffs or just get to the Super Bowl. This is flat out Super Bowl win or bust for the Raiders.
Yeah, because like
They
I said, they're
need
not.
to win. They need to win now. As soon as they step into Vegas, they lose. Even in their first game, they lose their first game. They're fucked.
Yeah, that city got spoiled because of the Golden Knights.
Mm-hmm.
So they're
Then
going to
again, the
expect a
Golden
winner.
Knights knew what they had to do, and they pulled they had a horseshoe or two up their asses, as Monk you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're still and the Golden Knights. They're still a major power in the West right now.
They're still competitive
Mm-hmm.
despite the cap hell. That's impressive.
Yeah,
But when it comes to the Raiders, I want to lay. Now we already talked about the clown. That was a shit show and a half. But there was a couple other factors that I want to talk about that did not help matters. First off, signing Vontez Burfict,
what?
a guy who has no business I don't advocate for this often, but I legitimately think Vontez should be banned from the NFL.
Yeah.
Give him the. Then again,